Oh, we've ended up on Moo Moo Meadows, how appropriate. Welcome! It's been a bit since I streamed, but I had this silly idea and I'm feeling a little bit better. I might still cough occasionally, you'll have to forgive me. But, hello. Mario Kart World was recently officially revealed, which now dates this video, but whatever. And many people noticed, between the Switch 2 Direct and the Nintendo Treehouse footage afterwards, that a lot of generic Mario enemies have been added to the roster. Previously in Mario Kart, most of these, well, all of these, I guess, were not drivable before. Or could not drive before. You know, words in some arrangement that makes sense. And also previously in Mario Kart, you didn't need legs to drive, but now you don't need hands either. You can drive a cart by sheer force of will. Or something similar. So, I thought it might be fun, using a tier list of all of the Mario enemies from the mainline games. Which ones do I want to see in Mario Kart? You might be able to guess one of them based on the little thumbnail thing there. But let's see. That's the wrong browser window that you're capturing. Over there. There we go. Alright. So let's begin, I guess. Have there been handless drivers before? I don't remember any. I could be wrong. I'm glad you like the drawing. Oh, hold on. I found another error. Is this correct? Yes. Okay, I wasn't animating. Not that you can see that yet. Anyway. Whoop. Here we are. On a tier list. The ultimate Super Mario mainline enemy tier list maker. And as we can see here, enemies already confirmed to be added include Sidestepper, Goomba, Koopa Troopa, who's a returning classic, Piranha Plant, Cheep Cheep, Hammer Bro, Lakitu, also a returning classic, Shy Guy, also returning, Pokey, Dry Bones, also returning, Spike, Rocky Wrench, Charge and Chuck, Wiggler, Monty Mole, Wiggler's also returning, Swoop, Fishbones, Snowman, Quack Attack, Para-Biddybug, Stingbee, I think, Coin Cover, and Conkdor. Rob didn't touch the wheel? Yeah, Wiggler was in Mario Kart 7. On the 3DS. That game also had the Queen Bee, who has not returned yet. It was a bit of a weird roster. Anyways, what this means by mainline enemy does not include bosses or mini-bosses. And what it means by mainline is all of this, which is a lot. I forgot that there was a Splatoon song in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and I was confused for a second. But what this basically means in summary is Donkey Kong Arcade, Mario Bros. Arcade, Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario Land 1 and 2, Super Mario World. Scrolling through a list I have on the side. Not Yoshi's Island, which I feel like is an important distinction. Not any of the RPGs. Super Mario 64. Not any of the Yoshi or Donkey Kong games. There's a lot of side games. Mario Sunshine is here. I have this list on the side to cross-reference because I did notice that this list was missing at least one enemy so far. I think new Super Mario Bros. Games are probably in here. 3D World and 3D Land are in here. Galaxy 1 and 2 are in here. Maker 1 and 2 are in here. Odyssey is in here, and Wonder is in here, and that's probably all of them. So anyway, I guess we get started. And these are in order of release, which means that first we have Fire and Fireball from Donkey Kong Arcade. Those are the first things on the list. Which is, I mean, what do you want from me? I don't think those are good ideas. They're Fire and Fireball. I backed away. I forgot how important being close to the mic is. I'm trying to make sure. Does this work still? No. Interesting. Or wait, is that... Okay, it does work. Anyway. Now, Fire and Fireball are clearly separate from Podobo, as the list dictates. There will be some that I don't think are separate at all. But anyway. Next up, from Mario Bros. Arcade, Fighterfly. I feel like since Sidestepper is in, Fighterfly kinda deserves it. But I'm not like super excited about Fighterfly. So I feel like maybe B or A. Like, I don't really know what these tiers mean exactly. D is no, I guess. C is like, eh. B is okay. A is alright. And S is yes. Let's just say that as a baseline, I guess. Freezy. I don't really care about Freezy. Freezy is like an item type of character. I'm gonna say no for Freezy, honestly. Yeah, I like Fighterfly, and like I feel like they pair with Sidestepper. Like if this ever became Mario Kart Double Dash out of nowhere. Fighterfly might be B or A. I'm not sure on this one entirely. But let's see. Koopa Paratroopa. Now this is an interesting one because Koopa Paratroopa here is like the only thing on this list that has been playable but only like once and didn't return. Because they were in Double Dash. But I feel like, well, first of all, in this roster, costumes are already in other character slots, at least as far as we know. And like, maybe costumes can have different animations, and like, I don't know if we really need Paratroopa as a separate character. So I'm gonna say that I have these two tiers here, maybe as a costume and maybe as a vehicle. I'm gonna say probably a costume for this one. Then we have Buzzy Beetle. Buzzy Beetle is like an iconic Mario enemy, but personally they're not that exciting for me, I guess. So like, there's nothing wrong with a Buzzy Beetle. But I also don't really care that much. Fighterfly might move down at some point, I don't know. I'm gonna say like, that would be fine, but wouldn't be a top pick. Just like a guy. Now Podobo though. Podobo has infinitely more personality than Arcade Fireball. Podobo would be funny. And you could put like the Mario Odyssey Mario Podobo as a costume maybe? I'd say Podobo would work. Why not? Or rather, Lava Bubble. Because I think Podobo is not an official name anymore. But I say sure, why not? Spiny. The thing with Spiny is that Lakitu, which is how you pronounce that, by the way, officially. I always said Lakitu, but it's Lakitu. Spiny, the thing with Spiny is that they're mostly a projectile. They don't really get to exist independently of Lakitu. They're also a classic Mario enemy, but I don't really care about them that much. They're in the same sort of boat as Buzzy Beetle, I think, to me. Bullet Bill. Bullet Bill is already an item in Mario Kart. They exist on their own? Well, I mean, I associate them with like being a projectile for Lakitu. They exist sometimes. Okay, yeah, they are in the arcade, that's true. But they're not actually credited anywhere as being in the arcade. For some reason. Even though they are in future versions of it. I guess they're only in future versions and they weren't in the original? Because according to the list of enemies by first appearance on Super Mario Wiki, the arcade included Fighterfly, Fireball, Freezy, Shell Creeper, and Sidestepper, and did not include Spinies. Yeah. I guess Shell Creeper is missing from this list, but I don't really care. Let's order things within tiers, at least, and put Spiny above Buzzy Beetle. Maybe Podoboo or Lava Bubble above Fighterfly. I guess Freezy's better than those two. Already confirmed is not ordered. Bullet Bill. Bullet Bill is already an item. And, I don't know. They're also already a vehicle? There's already a Bullet Bill shaped vehicle, I believe. So that one's, I'm not sure. It would be kind of funny to see a Bullet Bill drive a car, though. Yeah. Like, it feels like the Spiny is what was intended to be in the arcade thing. So, like, this is technically a list of what I want, rather than a list of what makes sense. And I feel like it'd be fun to see Bullet Bill drive. Maybe. As for the blaster... under the assumption that Bullet Bill could drive, I want to say the blaster could be a vehicle? Maybe? Like, it would be funny to see a cannon drive a car, but like a blaster-shaped vehicle would also be fun. Because then you could have anybody driving it. Anybody could have a gun in Mario. Blooper is also already an item, but I feel like Blooper is in the they deserve it tier. So, like, Blooper should drive. You should let Blooper drive. You should let Blooper drive. I think I'll put Blooper at the top. I think I forgot there was an S tier, but I think Blooper is the first one to go there, even though Blooper is an item. They have been playable in Mario Party. That is true. Sniff It. You just get maybe as a costume. That's, we don't need... We already have like every color of Shy Guy probably. So there probably won't be a Sniff It costume because there'll all be the different colors of Shy Guy with like a hat. But like, I care a little bit more about Sniff It than Paratroopa, but that's a costume. Bezo. Similarly, I guess Bezo could go in there. I guess, like, if I really wanted to have a definitely not tier, it would maybe have to be below these, but... eh. Albatos. I'm cross-referencing this list partly to, make sure I have the enemy names correctly. I believe this is Albatos. Albatos being a funny bird that drops bombs on you in Mario 2. We're in Mario 2 now. Mario 2 USA, not Mario 2 Lost Levels. Albatos, it's just a bird, and it's not one of the more charismatic birds in the series. Albatos-styled car. You know, that basically exists. Now that I think about it. I believe there is a car in Mario Kart Tour that looks like an eagle or something, and it's pretty close. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it's not really styled like an albatross, but it is like an eagle. Regardless. I don't really feel like... I don't really care about the idea of an albatross car, personally. It could work, but I'm just gonna say, nah. For albatross, I think. Ba-bomb. Also already an item. However, I think they go with Bullet Bill in the... They kind of deserve it. They're like really iconic. I've seen someone say King Babam is in World, but I don't think that's true. There's a few that people don't agree on, and that's not one of the ones that's officially like recognizable. This guy. Cobrat? Yeah, Cobrat. Bob-omb has been a racer before? Do you mean in Mario Kart 64 when you died in battle mode? I can't really look at a YouTube video right now. King Bob-omb is in Kart Tour. And also... not in Mario Kart? I don't know what you mean then. I can't really look at a YouTube video right now. Cobrat. Funny snake that pops out of a jar and shoots gun at you in Mario 2. This is sort of like another... I don't really care that much, but I care a little bit more than D tier. I feel like that'd be fine. Stage obstacle tier guy. Maybe, like... I like Cobrat well enough, but I think they're only in B or C somewhere. They're not like super meaningful. This is Flurry, I believe. Funny snowman of Mario 2. I think they're in a similar boat. Like, they're cute, I guess. But there's similar enemies later to like both of these, I think, that are... I think would be better. Now, Ninja, though. Ninja is easily in S tier. I don't think Flurry could be a costume because I think Flurry is too different from the snowman, personally. But maybe. We've yet to see just how different a costume can be. But Ninja definitely S tier. Ninja has been playable in Mario Party now, and also has seen a bit of a resurgence between that and Mario Wonder. Ninja deserves to drive a car. It's a Mario Party racing minigame? Interesting. I think you've mentioned that to me at some point. Now this is the enemy that this list forgot that I found so far. I guess I didn't really comb through everything extensively to find out if they missed anything else, but this is the Auto Bomb, also from Mario 2, a shy guy driving a cannon. And like, again, it would be funny to play as a cannon driving a car, but also I think it would be funny to drive a cannon as anyone. It's a thing from I Want to Be the Guy. I forgot it was in there. Hello, welcome. This is me ranking Mario enemies by how much I want to see them drive a car or bike or whatever in Mario Kart. There's 433 images plus one I added on this template. And the reason is because of in Mario Kart World, they've already confirmed all of these various funny characters to be playable. So I thought this would be fun. A shy guy riding a cannon on top of a cart would also be good. But like, I prefer to imagine the Auto Bomb as a cart that anyone can drive, because I think giving the ability to give anybody a cannon is inherently funnier to me, personally, than a cannon driving a vehicle. Because then you could be sillier, potentially. That's my thought anyway. You've linked me a picture of the Mario Kart 8 game. This is an interesting selection of characters. It does have Pianta, who is in Mario Kart World. It does have Bob-omb and Blooper, and a regular Boo, and a Womp, and a Bandit from Yoshi's Island, and Ukiki. There's a lot of interesting choices. Goomba Stack would be a funny costume for Pokey, I think. Like, not Goomba, but Pokey. They're basically the same shape. Hoopster, I think, is the name of this one. I think this is Hoopster. Yes, Hoopster. The bug-like creatures that climb on vines in Mario 2. This is going with some of the other Mario 2 enemies where I don't really care that much, personally. I'll put him above the other two, though. Sure, why not? I forgot there was a Dr. Goomba stack. That's really good. Similarly, we have Panzer, a fire-shooting flower, not to be confused with the fire-shooting piranha plant. Yeah, I guess I should be more willing to put more stuff into D, honestly. I think you also go with this crew. This is the, like, original art for Panzer, I think. Phanto. I think Phanto would be funny. Phanto goes in the I think it would be funny tier. Phanto is like a really iconic Mario enemy to me, at least. And I think Phanto should be around more often. I'm gonna even say... I do like Blooper. I don't know. Phanto should be an item? That would work too. But I would like to see Phanto in some context. This is Pidgeot. The funny little bird that drives the carpet. Well, they have a vehicle built in. You've seen a screenshot of Daisy's Desert Kingdom? They're riding on magic carpets, but I don't know if that specifically means they're riding on this magic carpet. I feel like I'm also gonna put this enemy around here somewhere. Because they're cute, but they're not the Mario 2 enemies I care about, I guess. Similarly, again, I guess this is gonna be the Mario 2 tier. They could be a vehicle. There is like a carpet-themed vehicle already that is still a car. This is Pokypo, who I always forget exists, truthfully. I think I don't care. I think this is a D. I think I care less about this than the other Mario 2 ones. Honestly. Now this guy though, Tweeter. This might be a personal thing, but I think Tweeter needs to come back. I like this design. I think Tweeter is a cute enemy. And I also have childhood memories of a weird webcomic that used a Tweeter as one of the main characters. They were some sort of doctor. I looked at this earlier to check that I wasn't making things up, but yeah. I forgot the name already. But yes, I think Tweeter should return. Bring Tweeter back. That's my opinion. Here's some fish, I guess. This is a fish that shows up in like waterfalls in Mario 2. They're called... what are they called? Which one of these is the fish? Trouter. I don't care. This goes in the I don't care tier. Yeah. Relentless to Mario 2 enemies. A little bit. Maybe a costume for Cheep Cheep? Sure. Sure, I guess. Ostro, though. Also from Mario 2, Shy Guys occasionally rode them. I think there should be an Ostro-based vehicle, like a bike or something. Why not? I'd say yes. Angry Sun, seen here in the Mario Maker 2 version for some reason. Funny tier. Let me play as the Angry Sun. Why not? Now, is it A tier funny or is it S tier funny? That's the question. The Donkey Kong Country ostrich would also be good. An alt costume for Phanto item. Now that would be funny. You. What's your name again? Boss Bass? For some reason, you're not listed as Boss Bass on this enemy list. But, also not listed as Big Bertha. I don't know why. Not on this list I'm looking at anyway. Anyway, I personally do not like this enemy, so I'm putting them in the I don't want it tier. I have a grudge, maybe. I'm sure many people who played Mario games do, but I also don't like the enemy conceptually. Just like a sudden instant death fish. I'm not endeared to this enemy. And I think they make a weird noise that I don't like in some of the games. It's like a weird, like, hacking type of sound. I don't know. Blooper family, or whatever. Blooper nanny and blooper babies. No. I mean, better than a lot of these. But one blooper is enough. I don't think you need to add this as a costume. It's just 3 extra bloopers. I think the costume should do more creative things than that, personally. I feel like I should put the D tier below the maybe tiers, but I'm not sure. A regular Boo. Now we have King Boo, and we've seen Boo drive a car in at least one context that I've been alerted of today. And I don't really feel like Boo is a costume for King Boo because that's just removing a crown. That's also nothing. But like, I feel like I like Boos, but I also don't feel like we need regular Boo and King Boo. So like high D or low C, even though I like Boo a lot. Boomerang Brother, that's easy costume. Because we have Hammer Bro, and we don't need to have Hammer Bro, Boomerang Bro, Fire Bro, and Ice Bro separate characters. Really. Is B tier? I guess B tier is multiple. Boo is also an item. I'll move Boo up to C. That'll be my compromise for your idea, I guess. Chain Chomp. S. Chain Chomp is a funny guy. I love Chain Chomp, and Chain Chomp has been playable in Mario Tennis now. So, yeah, let him drive. 1-1 indeed. Oh, you didn't know? Yeah, Chain Chomp is in Mario Tennis Aces. The Nintendo Switch one. They were one of the characters at the start of the game. They weren't even one of the DLC ones later, they were just in the default roster. It was pretty funny. Red Bullet Bill. I guess this is a homing bill. No. That's not even... I guess I could put that in costume tier, assuming that Bill is in there. What does it look like when you put them together? This is the pill that Dr. Mario doesn't want you to know about. But yeah, no, not even a costume, I don't think. Better than Boss Bass. Maybe better than the fireballs. This one. Buster Beetle. I was gonna say Buster Brown, that's not quite right. Buster Beetle is like a Buzzy Beetle that lifts. And that's about it. The pill version of the button that either gives you $1 million or turns you into a girl, but also you can explode. That sounds probable. Putting Buster Beetle just right next to Buzzy Beetle, basically the same thing. Fire Bro, costume. Incidentally, Hammer Bro, Fire Bro, Boomerang Bro, and Ice Bro were all in Mario Kart Tour. Fire Snake. Costume for Pokey. Just use Pokey as an excuse to use any segmented enemy. Fire Chomp. Or Flame Chomp, apparently. I don't really care about this one. Like, I care about this less than Fire Snake, I think. So, honestly, somewhere around here. I feel like I might rearrange some of these at some point. I feel like I might care about this more than some of these Mario 2 ones. I'm not sure. Maybe like here. I don't know. Hotfoot. The Mario 3 enemy that is on candles and fortresses. This is nothing. This is mildly more charismatic than other forms of Fireball. Gelectro. The funny glowy jellyfish underwater that I usually think of more as like blocks than enemies because they're treated as them in most ways. And they don't really look like this either, but you know, they're kind of cute. They're all right. I think they get at least C tier somewhere, in my estimation. But like, I don't know. A gold Goomba from something. Is this like the crappy weak Goomba from, I don't know, Mario Land or something? I don't know why this one is here on the list, but I feel like this is another not even as a costume tier. Because like at least Boomerang Bro and Fire Bro and stuff are like mildly iconic, I guess, instead of this Goomba who sucks more than usual. Small Goomba from 3D World. Well, this list is mostly in order, so I don't know why they would be here in the list is the thing. But yeah, they're that particular render of them is from more modern ones. They're probably in 3D World. Munchers. Like all forms of muncher. I'm gonna say Muncher could probably be a Piranha Plant costume. And like, since this is basically all the same enemy, I'll put them all together. Munchers are like iconic to me as a person who's witnessed Mario World ROM hacks at any point in her life. So I think they could have a shot. Small Goomba first appeared around Mario 3. Okay. Muncher has its own character? They do have a different sort of charisma. Alright, let's say one Muncher in this and the other two in costume. I do like Muncher. I do unironically like Muncher. As like a Mario enemy that's something. It's like the kobold of a Piranha Plant. Yeah, basically. Paragoomba. Now, I guess since I put Paratroopa in costume, I guess I'm obligated to put... And Bizo. I guess I'm obligated to put Paragoomba there. I just realized that the vehicle part looks like this Shy Guy is, like, very threatened by this gun right now. What is this enemy called? I know what it is. It's the fake block that jumps, but what is this called? Pile Driver Micro Goomba. Also referred to as fake bricks. I forgot it was a Goomba in the block. You know what? Goomba costume. Goomba costume, Goomba wearing a block. A+. I don't think vehicle. I think costume would be really funny. Parabuzzy? Is that what this is? Parabeetle. Just a Parabeetle. That's just a Buzzy Beetle with wings. So, like, you also get costume tier if we're assuming Buzzy Beetle has a shot, I think. Piranha Plant that's walking. I guess this is like a Patooey plant or a Nipper plant or something. One of those. I think this is just, yeah, Patooey. This is a Patooey. We already have Piranha Plant. Patooey doesn't really add anything. But they're better than, like, some of these. I don't really feel like that would be... like, I think... Whoop, coughing, sorry. Not perfectly better yet. But, like, basically just a Piranha Plant, yeah. Rotodisc. Here we go. There's something. The Rotodisc. I cannot imagine how a Rotodisc would drive a car, but also imagine if they made the Rotodisc drive a car somehow. Think about it. Like, I feel like Rotodisc is one of the least possible things on this list. It feels like it should be a weapon. Should I just make like a maybe as an item category? Because we're probably not going to get any surprise item reveals. And also this would be identical to like triple shells, but there's only 2 of them. So honestly, I don't really know. I feel like Rotodisc is something I cannot imagine at all, so I'm gonna have to put it there. Like, if they made it work, that would be funny. But I don't think it's like, that would be funny in a way that makes any sense, you know? I don't know if that makes any sense. Spiky Cheep Cheep? Spiny Cheep Cheep. I guess that's maybe as a costume, because we have Cheep Cheep confirmed. So sure. That one boo that's on the block. You know the one. That is in the same position as Patooey and Blooper Nanny, in that they don't really add anything. They're basically the same. I don't know when they're in 3D, but apparently they were. Thwomp. Well, that's an easy one. Thwomp is S. Let Thwomp drive. Thwomp is like absolutely S tier. I think a Thwomp should drive a car. I don't really have anything further to say about it. Kurbo Shoe, or just Goomba Shoe, or whatever they're calling it these days. Shoe Goomba? Shoe Goomba. Vehicle. I want to see a vehicle inspired by the shoe that anyone can drive. There has been a shoe vehicle before, but it was a sneaker. I want to see a Goomba Shoe car. There's a Mario 64 Thwomp character in Ring Racers. That's pretty good. Turbo Kart. I want to see that more than these other things for cars. Some form of piranha plant. This is one of those like palette changes, so like I feel like for ones that are like mostly just palette changes that aren't just kind of like boring, I think this goes with these other costumes. Based on the costumes we've seen so far, like the Yoshi costumes, for example, we have regular green Yoshi, and then we have other colors of Yoshi that also have a costume. So I feel like what they would be likely to do with stuff like Boomerang Bro and whatever this is make them one of the alt costumes for Piranha Plant in this case, but also like give them a hat or whatever. Like it wouldn't just be this, it would be the base for an alternate costume. Sledge Bro. Explosion Fire Plant? Something like that. Sledge Bro, though. Now, depending on how different alternate costumes can be, I guess Sledge Bro would probably work as a costume. Because they're not, like, that different from Hammer Bro. And if the costumes can have different animations, which they can actually, we know this. Because the trailer shows one of the Mario costumes doing like a thematically appropriate animation. I'm gonna say Sledge Bro is a costume for Hammer Bro. We're in Mario Land now. We've got weird stuff. What the heck is this thing called? It's not a lava lotus. Everything in Mario Land is weird. I'm looking through. I'm looking through stuff. Oh, this is probably this one. This is. Actually, wait, is that? No, that's a different thing. Okay, hold on. I don't know what this is. Some sort of flower from Mario Land, presumably. But it's not in the same order that it is on this list over here. Well, whatever it is, I'm gonna say no for this one. It's a weird plant. I can't identify it. I don't really care about it. Goombo. Also known by its original Japanese name, Chibibo. This is a Mario Land Goomba. They do the same thing as Goombas. I don't know why they're separate from Goombas. I guess you get costume. Like, you're slightly different enough that you're better than this slightly different Goomba over here. Bombshell Koopa. Similarly to that, I think you're slightly different enough that, like, and you're angry, that, like, that could work. Sure, why not? Bullet Biff. I also don't know why this is different from Bullet Bill. I guess they have rockets. That is a good point, though. We know Sarasaland is being represented. In the various footage we've seen so far, we have seen that Daisy has like a desert castle and a desert costume, and there's a few Mario Land enemies that are actually present and might end up being playable already. Yeah, I was gonna get to that when we got to the Moai Heads, but yeah. You're different enough that maybe you could be like a fun Sarasaland cameo since they're doing that, I guess. Some kind of fish and some other kind of fish. I guess if I'm giving the Sarasaland cameo excuse, this gets to be a fishbone skin. This is called a honen, or hunhen, or bonefish. What is... I don't know what this other fish is. Ah, it's Torian. Only in 2-3 of Mario Land. Oh yeah, that's right, the dolphin is confirmed. I guess you can also go in the alternate costume Sarasaland pile then. That's a good point. Now we get to the actual Moai Heads. Which are Toko Toko for this one. And what's the other one? Which one of these is the other one? Batadon. Batadon is the flying one. Now the thing with these, as was mentioned, let me briefly add an image. These are confirmed to exist in the game, which is the first time they've been seen since Mario Land, and the first time they've ever been in 3D as a result. Now, we don't know yet if like every stage obstacle or enemy is recruitable. Recruitable in quotes. But these might already be playable, just not like shown yet, if that is the case. And I think it'd be really cool for them to be present. So I'm gonna put both of them in like A. Cause like, Mario Land is somehow unironically one of my favorite Mario games, even though I didn't grow up with it. But I think I'm a little bit less excited about them than I am for S tier. I feel like Angry Sun could be a Phanto skin, actually, but both would be good. So I'll put these here. I don't really have a tier for chance that they're already in, but we don't know it yet. Now we have a weird bee. What's this weird bee? It's one of these things. Ah, this is Bun Bun for some reason. I don't really care about this bee, to be honest. TBH. But we do have a Sting Bee, that is a point. I guess they go in the maybe as a costume pile. If we have like a pile of Sarasaland costume references, that would be cute, I think. So why not? A rock. Also known as Ganchan. They're just boulders, but they have eyes in the concept art. This is just a boulder. There's nothing to this boulder. It is a boulder. I don't know what to say about it. I feel like this is close to the things that are like non-charismatic fireballs. Probably. Probably. This creature, who is Mechabon. Mechabon is an enemy I forget about. They're a funny robot. I feel like this is an appropriate song to have started when I got to the funny robot. Incidentally, this is one of my favorite Mario Kart music tracks. I don't know how common of an opinion that is. I like the funny robot. They throw their head at you. They're more like a Mega Man enemy, honestly. I feel like they can go up here. They're like unique and interesting. I think I care more about them than the C tier. I like to see a funny robot on occasion. Frequent occasions, preferably. This is Nyololin. They are a snake. I care about them about as much as I care about the similar snake from Mario 2. I think that's fair as a statement. I also like to be a funny robot sometimes. I have contemplated being a robot instead of a ghost on occasion, but I've never gone through with it, except for when I was kind of like a robot ghost, I guess. This creature is... What is this one's name? Yanpi. A Jiangxi sort of creature. It'd be kind of funny to have, like, just a Jiangxi in a Mario. I think that's how you say that. I'll put them in C tier somewhere. They're like... I feel like they don't fit, but it'd be interesting. I feel like you could probably actually... You know what? Actually... Jiangxi costume for like King Boo or something. How about that? Or Lakitu, or some sort of Jiangxi themed costume for somebody. Not anyone specific for this one, but like a costume resembling that seems likely. Different weird plant that is not the same as the other weird plant. This one is the pom-pom flower. I don't care. You go next to the other weird plant I couldn't identify. Yeah, Waluigi had a vampire costume in tour. That is true. Multiple spiders from Mario Land. These are... You'd think I'd, like, figure out which Mario Land enemies I'd already looked at by process of elimination. This one is Kumo. They're the ones that hops around. And... what's the other one? I saw them earlier. Tsu. Kumo Tsu. I feel like Mario has more charismatic spiders later on. So I think probably not for these two. But they're like a little bit better than some of the things in this tier. Uraren. Okay, there's technically an enemy here that is missing, because there's also a secondary version of Uraren called Uraren Boo that shoots fire, but this is basically like a funny seahorse creature. I mean, I like them alright. They're alright. I think they deserve better than like D. I think they'd be very unlikely, but I think they go around here somewhere. This list will take less time than the Splatoon songs one, probably, by the way. In case you were wondering. This is a Gunyan. I believe Mario has more charismatic octopi later on as well. I forgot the Gunyan was referenced in Splatoon. In the original Splatoon in Flounder Heights, there is a pixel art of a blooper and a Gunyan next to each other. Huh. I don't know if we're gonna have like cross-series characters yet, but Inkling and Octoling would be good. That said, Gunyan, I'm gonna put you next to the spiders as like there's a better option later, I'm pretty sure. Rocketon. Or Rocketon. It's just a Lakitu and a plane. Maybe a vehicle. Maybe a vehicle tier. Chicken. This enemy is just called Chicken. Which is surprising given a lot of the names in Mario Land 1, but they're just called Chicken. I don't know what to tell you, they're just called Chicken. They're just a funny bird with a hat. There's not a lot going on with them. They're like around a lot of the Mario 2 enemies that I put in C for some reason. Maybe I'll lower those. I don't know. Probably around there. What is this? We're not in Mario Land 2 yet. But this is a funny creature of some sort. I could see a vehicle based on them. I'm forgetting what they're called. I'm having a lot of trouble finding things in this list, somehow. But regardless, I feel like maybe basic vehicle on this seems fair. I'll go with that. Funny Sphinx. What are you called? Maybe I can find this one. Gao. This is a Gao. Question? What's your question? No, because the Sphinx in what you're calling Mexico, who is also in a bunch of other kingdoms, is, made of stone. I do not believe the Gao is made of stone. But, Gao is fun. I like this enemy more than some of the other ones. I feel like they get to go up here, maybe. Next to the funny robot. They're a fun creature. Why not? A vehicle based on them could also work. But I say why not? Galumba, I assume. I'm not sure why this is here. Oh, right, because Mario World is next. Mario Land 2 was after World. Galumba, absolutely a costume, or some component of a costume. We don't need a separate Galumba character, I don't think. Mecha Koopa. Vehicle. I think there should be a Mecha Koopa vehicle. I think that would make sense. Like, you could probably argue for a costume as well. But I think a Mecha Koopa cart would be cool. There might be a Mecha Koopa one? I wouldn't be surprised. The Mario World version of a piranha plant. The jumping piranha plant. That's nothing. It's not, that's like a not even a costume territory one to me. Like, that's not necessary. We don't need that. The the spike top, I believe. This one gets to go next to the Parabeetle in the maybe a costume. I feel like they would be a basis for a Buzzy Beetle costume where Buzzy Beetle playable. Kamek or Magic Koopa. Now, first of all, Kamek is already used in an item. I feel like I saw a Magic Koopa as well, but I didn't find any other lists. I didn't find any list of Mario Kart World saying that Magic Koopa was in it. I feel like I saw one. Let me, like, double check. I just hit a glass on my desk. I feel like I saw one, but I guess I didn't post about it anywhere. Magic Koopa is in Tour. Magic Koopa is part of an item in World. Magic Koopa was supposed to be in Mario Kart 64, but was replaced with Wario. I feel like I saw Magic Koopa in some of the World footage, but on lists that I found, I did not see any proof. But Magic Koopa goes in the deserves it if they're not already in it tier. So they're an S for me. Somewhere in here. Oh hey, they made Rosalina's Ice World have a song that wasn't bad. Forgot about that. But yeah, if Magic Koopa isn't already in, they deserve to be in. I'd be surprised if they weren't. I feel like I've seen them. Sumo Bro. Sumo Bro. I like Sumo Bro. I feel like they could maybe be a costume, but also they have a very different energy. But also some of the costumes have different animations, and we know this. I'm gonna say B. I feel like Sumo Bro could work somewhere. I like Sumo Bro well enough. Rex. I think Rex is due for a comeback. I think Rex should be somewhere. I'm putting Rex in A. You could maybe argue for Yoshi costume, but I think those are already all known. So Rex. I like Rex. I like this art of Rex. I think they get A tier. Urchin. Urchin is one that I think would be funny. And like maybe, I feel like high C or B for Urchin. Primarily because I think that would be funny. And like, they're kind of cute in a way too. So why not? Why not? A blurp, I guess, is what these are called. That's a maybe as a costume for Cheep Cheep situation. For sure. Lava Lotus. I think it's very funny that the Lava Lotus and also the Amazing Flying Hammer Bro and Boo Circle are just sprites here. Again, I think it'd be like a basis for a costume instead of the entire costume. Lava Otis has never gotten any official art. I guess Shukumba definitely has, but Lava Lotus. There's something about Lava Lotus that is more charismatic than other fire-spitting plants that we've seen. So I think they somehow get C. I mean, like, I guess that's the same rank as the other fire-spitting plant. But Lava Lotus feels like it's similar to Rotodisc in that I can't imagine it working. But like a high C works for me. Boo Circle. This is not necessary. This goes with the other, this is not necessary, this is just multiple of the same guy. As a costume for Rotodisc. Now you're thinking. Amazing Flying Hammer Brother. Another easy costume design. But also, if only you could clone something and put it in 2 spots. Because also, consider the flying block vehicle. But we'll go with costume for now. Blarg. Blarg is up here somewhere. I don't know how a Blarg would sit in a chair or like a seat. I don't know what the rest of Blarg looks like under the lava, but they can figure it out. Let Blarg drive a car. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe below the Moai heads. Yeah, put them in a little pot of lava. Just like the piranha plant. That would work. Eerie. Eries are cute. I like Eries. I think they get to go up here. It'd be a weird choice, but I wouldn't hate it, and I'd probably play as Erie. They might be a Yoshi ghost or something like that. It is unclear. I don't believe there is any lore. What is the official name of you? Fishing Boo. This is a Lakitu costume. Or Lakitu. My brain always thinks of this guy as Fishing Fish Guy because of Raocow, but yeah. Bony Beetle. This goes next to the other Buzzy Beetles. As like a just in case Buzzy Beetle is playable. Fuzzy. Parentheses Super Mario World. Fuzzy would be hilarious. You know what? Fuzzy would be... Imagine Fuzzy making any sort of reaction faces to anything in addition to their default expression. The more I think about it, the higher up they go. I don't know if we've ever heard a Fuzzy make a sound other than like the chittering and skittering, but I feel like they scream like rabbits. And that's where I'll leave that statement. Torpedo Ted Launcher. Yeah, sure. They make like a boing sound. I'll also put Torpedo Ted here. Maybe as a vehicle, I guess? And then like, I guess since we're putting Buzzy Beetles in the maybe as a costume tier, in case of Buzzy Beetle, I guess Torpedo Ted also goes there. And so does Bonsai Bill. Since we have, like, Bullet Bill up here. Porky Puffer. Infinitely more charismatic than Boss Bass. But also, like, I feel like this one is close enough to Cheep Cheep to be the basis for a costume. Like we were talking earlier about how Muncher is like different enough from Piranha Plant or whatever. I feel like Porky Puffer is pretty different from Cheep Cheep, but is closer to Cheep Cheep than Muncher is to Piranha Plant. I feel like a Porky Puffer vehicle could also be pretty good, but I'm gonna say Cheep Cheep costume basis. Sparky and Little Sparky. That's just an orb of lightning. I wouldn't hate it. It would be kind of funny. I feel like they get to go and see, maybe? They are so much the same guy. I say to them, you want Sky High Sunday? Both of them say yes. I feel like they go around there. I feel like that's fine. They're so much the same guy that it's not even worth putting one of them in costume. Mega Mole. Monty Mole's confirmed, so costume basis. Absolutely. One of the Monty Mole costumes, if they have any, is gonna have shades. Dino Rhino. And Dino Torch. I'm gonna say we skip over Dino Torch and just put Dino Torch in, like, not really necessary, because Dino Rhino S tier. Dino Rhino is a great guy. I love to behold him. See also Reznor. Dino Rhino needs to be acknowledged. Consider how fun it is to say Dino Rhino. Or I think Reznor would be a Dino Rhino costume. Either way, Reznor's not on this list because that's a boss fight. You. Rip Van Fish. This feels like another costume base one. Like that's close to Blurp.
Dino Rhino, 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 Dino Rhino.
True. It seems like the thing that alerts that there's a thing happening isn't working, but that's fine. Thwimp. Like I put Thwomp in S.
Die? No.
I guess we're not getting alerts for when redeems are used today. That's fine. I feel like Thwimp doesn't really work as a Thwomp costume and is also not really necessary. So I feel like they get to go next to Dino Torch. Like, I don't hate Thwimps or anything. I'm just not feeling it. Alright, we're in Mario Land 2. Another set of weird guys. This is an Aqua Goomba. That's an easy costume. Diving Helmet Goomba. Yeah, as we all know, babies don't race in Mario Kart ever. There's definitely not like 4 or 5 or 17 of them. Definitely not. All right. The Mario Land 2 enemy that's a hockey mask with a knife in it. Probably up there on one of the funniest options. Goomba costume. I think I agree with this. That's Goomba parentheses Halloween. I forget what this one is called. It's more difficult to find things on this, on the Mario lands, because they're all... A lot of the names aren't really localized and I don't know Japanese. Some of them are very simple and localized, but... I don't remember what this creature is called. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I mean, it's clearly based on that. It has a name that I don't remember. It's in this list somewhere. Not that one. No, the name is one of the unlocalized ones for sure. I just can't find it. Or no, actually it's Masked Ghoul. Never mind. It's one of the localized ones. I was wrong. Masked Ghoul. But I could see that as like a Goomba costume for sure. Speaking of, Ghost Goomba. This one is actually just called Ghost Goomba. I guess this could be a Goomba costume, but I'm not like enthused about it. A little bit better than like Paragoomba. Probably close to the Goombo. The costume tier is a lot larger than I thought it would be. This is something. I saw this a second ago. Noko Bombette. It's like the Bombshell Koopa again. Like it's literally described as a powered up version of the Bombshell Koopa, so I'll put it right there. It's somewhere between Buzzy Beetle and Bombshell Koopa. Ant! 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 There's a lot of ants. They all have different names, but they're all effectively ants. One of them is called Ant. The spiky one is Chikunto. The one with a gun is Dokanto. And I'm not sure what the last one is. Goronto. So, Chikunto, Goronto, Dokanto, Ant. This is one of those cases of there are more charismatic ants later. So I'm gonna put like one of them in maybe a costume because there's a better ant later on that is going to be higher up. Spoilers. And then like the rest of them are not really necessary. Unless they're also the basis for a costume. Yeah, I feel like the construction one could be the basis for a costume. The other two I don't care about. It's quite possible I might need to move up the maybe tiers and put like the D tier below them. This thing. What is this? I forget what this is. Some sort of insect creature that I don't really care about. I'm just gonna put it in the I don't really care tier. It's not an ant, it's ant adjacent. Similarly, we also have these worms and these bees. This bee here, maybe a sting bee costume idea, concept. Halloween bee. These other two, I don't really care. I care a little bit more about them. Maybe. And the worms, also I don't really care. I've stopped caring as much about like getting the exact name for all of these ones that I don't know the name of off the top of my head. Similarly, egg being launched out of a volcano or whatever this is. I don't really care. I like Mario Land and Mario Land 2 a lot, but they do have a lot of enemies I don't really care about, in addition to some enemies I do care about.
Eggs can't be taught any how to drive.
So true. So let's put this one like here. I care about this rock more than this egg, truthfully. Here's a good one. This is Battle Beetle. This guy has got charisma. This one's got charisma. Honestly, why the heck not? This one's got charisma. Won't be? What makes you say it won't be? I mean, it's pretty unlikely, but absolutely in Air Riders. Does resemble some Kirby enemies, that's true. Weird Bee. Some kind of strange creature. I don't like looking at them that much. Truthfully. So around here somewhere. They're more interesting than these other bees. Birdfish. Actual name for this creature. Like, I guess this is a cheap costume base, actually. It's one of those again. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of things similar to... This is exactly the same as Fishbone, basically, but I guess I'll put them there. This is just a bird. This goes close to the other bird that I just don't care about. It's just a bird. It's like less interesting than that one. A hedgehog with anxiety. I don't know. Also, I don't care about them. They go next to the other hedgehog that I don't care about. Now this one though. Here we have another one that's kind of fun. The Bomu Bomu. The cannonball spitting pig from space. You have thoughts about the pig cannon. Did you like prepare these in advance? Both interesting ideas. You could also make this a costume for cow, weirdly enough. So I'm gonna say maybe as a costume for this one sounds good. Sure, why not? Weird costume, but maybe. Moo is actually just called cow, for the record. Floating face. It's Wario's face, but on an orb. There's no reason to have this in any sort of way that I can imagine. So, no. Speaking of cows, Moofish. I guess this could be a cow costume basis. It'd be a weird one. But sure. Horrible to look at mole. What is this called? Whatever it is, I just don't like looking at it. It looks... I don't know, it has like... The way it's all like scrungly and like lumpy, I'm gonna say no. No to the lumpy mole. Now, funny bear balance on a ball though. I don't remember what this thing... Bopping... No. Bopping Toady. I thought that said Bopping Teddy. Funny bear balance on a ball car. I don't know. Here's a weird pitch. Monty Mole costume. They're the same sort of shape and color. So why not? A flopping tentacle. No. This is nothing. It's not even funny. Here's Bopping Toady though. Like actual. They're a frog. They're like, okay, I guess. I don't really care about them though. I guess they'll probably go up here. I'm doing a lot of these pretty quickly, honestly. Whatever this is, I don't remember. It goes with the worms. I don't know what this is. I feel like that goes around the same spot. Pukumuku, you mean? Shark with boxing gloves. Just called Shark. This goes in costumes because it could be a dolphin base. Somewhere. So it goes in the, like, Mario Land 2 pile. This is a Karakara. That's what they're called in Mario Land 2. I do like the idea of just a straight up umbrella yokai being playable. Honestly, this one goes up high on the list for me. They're not like an iconic Mario enemy by any means. But I like the idea of them just showing up out of nowhere. This amuses me. Funny little Cyclops. This is Kyororo, a one-eyed ghost. This is just like a guy, almost. I don't really care about this one, but I don't think I like hate them. So they're probably around here somewhere. I think it... Actually, I feel like this is one of the ones that would just feel weird to see in Mario Kart, like, more than some of the other things. So maybe, like, high D. Funny lantern. Barrow. I like the lantern more than some of the other things. I don't know if maybe like low B. I have a fondness for Pumpkin Zone in general. I feel like there should be a Pumpkin Zone thing. Similarly, Collector is the name of this one. It's just a witch. They're actually in Macro Zone instead. They steal blocks. Similar to the one that's just a guy, but like better. They're just a funny witch. High C is probably fine. Maybe not that high. Around there or something. Costume for Magikoopa. That could also work. Sure. Why not? A broom. Swish swisharoo. I mean, it'd be funny. We are going to have to contend with the question of how funny it would be for inanimate objects to pilot a vehicle. Multiple times now. Or at least soon. I think it'd be funny enough to warrant going in like at least C tier. To just play as a broom. I would care more about playing as a broom than I would about a lot of these. Weirdly enough. Jack in the Box. I don't really like looking at them. They go with the mole. This is Kidokato, a little marching man. I feel like this is similar to the Cyclops, in that it'd be interesting. Actually, basis for a costume for somebody, like a marching uniform costume for somebody. One of the ghosts from Luigi's Mansion. That would be a fascinating pull. I guess there are ones that are like close to that or like use that in a fight or something. This is a Poro. This is a weird space robot that's not as charismatic as another space robot we've seen. So like, eh. ID maybe? We've also got number 48. Vehicle. A vehicle that's sort of inspired by this. I mean, it has like a little hatch on it. You could put the seat there. It works pretty well. Kid Dracula from Castlevania. Not really, but basically. Kurokura is the name. This is an enemy that there's like one of in Mario Land 2. Already in is... No, see, Waluigi Vampire is in Tour. And we don't know if the Tour outfits are all coming back. There's only a few that are confirmed to, and they're all ones that were already in Odyssey, I think. Like, there's a Peach outfit that is in both of those. There's already some outfits confirmed for World that are, like, basically overwriting ones from Tour. Like, Daisy has a different swimwear outfit. So I feel like most of the Tour outfits are probably not returning. Would be funny, but also would be kind of uncanny, similar to the Cyclops, I think. I don't believe there's a confirmed Mario Kart World vampire. Okay, we are now out of Mario Land 2 to Mario 64. Bully. S. Bully is a charismatic and iconic creature to me. They're a good creature. Not this design of Bully. This is kind of like the design of Bully these days. I don't know which one you mean. This is not accurate to the N64 one because it's a later render. But like, definitely S tier. You like the rounder one? They're about the same to me, personally. But definitely S tier. Would be funny. Also, if you put Big Bully in the game and there was a course with rain, they could be the Big Wet Bully and go clearly. This is a reference to a very specific thing. Ukiki. Ukiki, as shown to me earlier, is one of the drivers in like a Mario Kart 8 game. Apparently. Wait. You're posting pictures of Vampire at me. Is this from World? That is from World. I guess there is a Vampire. Huh. That is not a costume I saw. Okay, so Vampire Waluigi is real. There was a Vampire Waluigi in Tour that was different. Interesting. Ukiki. Ukiki is a piece of shit monkey who needs to get hit with a blue shell, so they have to be in the game. They need to, for people to get revenge against them. So weirdly enough, S tier because everyone hates them. And it would be funny. Also, they've driven a vehicle before. Spark, whatever this is called. Where's Mario 64 on this list? There's a lot of things called Spark or Sparky or similar words. Amp. This is an amp. This would be like an obstacle. Which would mean that it would be possibly actually a driver, because you can... Because these are like mostly course obstacles, right? So, weirdly enough, I feel like amp is kind of plausible. They look like they're having a good time. Like maybe like low B or something. Why not? I wouldn't hate it. Spider I forgot was in Mario 64. Because this is the Mario 64 set of enemies. What is this? What is this creature called? Unless this thing isn't entirely sorted correctly. Right, there are spiders in Hazy Maze Cave. They have the same color scheme, I believe. I don't know what they're called. Okay, no, there's like the water striders. That's a different thing. Scuttlebug? No, that's the... Oh wait, no, that is correct. This is considered still a scuttlebug, so this is a new version of it. This is like similar to a Mario Run artwork. Scuttlebug. Sure, I guess. I don't super care about them. Depending on how abstract things get, they could be a Stingbee costume. They're like very similar if you look at them. So I'll say costume base. Womp. Also free S tier. Different enough from Thwomp. Also shown to have driven in Mario Kart 8. Similar but different. I think I've seen Womps on the course, but they have not been confirmed as drivers or anything. In this situation, I think it's like a Womp or Thwomp type of thing, but I guess both of them could be plausible. But S, I think. They're good, I think. This is my opinion. Toxbox. This, I guess, could be like a Thwomp skin if Thwomps were in. I'm gonna have to like give these categories more specific names when I'm done. A shark. I don't know, I don't remember where this is in Mario 64. The shark isn't an enemy? I guess it's counted as an enemy for some purpose. For some reason, butterflies are listed under enemies in this wiki. Because the ring challenge? Well, I'll say they probably like a dolphin skin. They can go next to the boxing glove shark. They're like not as good, but they're still... Actually, I don't know which one is better. Like, I like this one's design more. They just don't have boxing gloves. Would Barney the dinosaur seem out of place? Or out of all these Mario enemies? Says YouTube chat, which is not displayed on screen. I mean, there were a lot of dinosaur enemies. I don't know if Barney specifically would seem fitting. Because, like, Barney's pretty distinctively his own not Mario entity, I would say. Manta Ray. Or just Manta. Probably the basis for, like, a vehicle, in this case, I would say. Here's the water skater. The Skeeter. This is like a maybe, I think. I wouldn't hate it. It'd be weird. Also, actually, no. I think this is also vehicle inspiration territory. Bookend. The evil piano is indeed on this list. They're right here. It's also a YouTube chat. I have to like call those out because they don't show up on the stream. Angry Book. This is when we need to think about, are inanimate objects funny as erasers? And like, I don't think the book is funny enough. I think the book is like, eh. It's better than a lot of these. But like, it's a book. Now, Chair though. Chair is a step above book in terms of funny. The Chair is just called Chair. I think the Chair is like at least a tier above. It goes with the broom, maybe. This cloud, I guess. I don't remember this cloud. Whoosh. Oh yeah, that enemy. An enemy might have possessed the piano? Like maybe. I don't know exactly how that works. I feel like there are already cloud carts. There's already a better cloud. This is like not necessary tier. I'll elaborate that D is like no / I don't care / not necessary. I might as well just start typing in stuff. C is like, sure, I guess, basically. B is like, I like them. That'd be pretty good. A is like, yes, I'd love to see them. And S is absolutely my favorite options. Something like that. So, Chuckya. What's the pig and the cow right next to the Sniffet? Sniffet. Those are Mario Land 2 enemies. This is like a pig cannon that's in the space levels, and this is a weird cowfish. I feel like they could both somehow inspire costumes for the cow that's confirmed that is not present due to not being an enemy in a mainline Mario, according to this list. You've got a thought on the Chuckya? Pianta costume. I could see it. But I could also see Chuckya as, like, their own racer. I feel like that'd be kind of fun. I feel like they're, like, up here for me. This is basically just an earlier revision of the coin coffer, but it's technically a different enemy. Moneybag. So they go into inspiration for a costume easily, since they're basically the same concept as something that exists. A different Sniffet type of thing. Literally, Sniffet Super Mario 64. I guess they just go next to the Sniffet. The eel. I call Charge and Chuck usually, but Raukau calling them Charlies is stuck in my head. Also a YouTube comment. Eel, Maore is apparently the official name as of Mario Odyssey, referred to as Unagi prior to that. The thing with eel is I feel like they're another creature that you can't really put into a car easily. They would be very funny. But I don't know how that would work. Therefore, consider eel vehicle somehow. Mad Piano. What do eggs do in their free time? Karaoke. Pretty good joke. Now, you say vehicle for piano, but I think piano is too funny. I think piano gets to be... Even though, like, piano would also be impractical, I think they're, like, too many levels of funny to me above things like the eel. I say piano is up here because just imagine it. Like a piano vehicle or something would make a lot more sense. But also the piano would be very funny as a driver. Mr. I. Now, Mr. I is the one that I drew art of driving a car, so I guess that's an S. Now that you're looking over my list, you must ask how would I expect Phanto to drive a car if he has no arms or legs? Might I direct you to the confirmed for the game already enemies that include such things as Pokey, or Coin Coffer, or... Well, I mean, some of these have legs, but Pokey doesn't have arms or legs. Fishbone doesn't have arms or legs. Sidestepper doesn't use the claws or anything to steer. They don't care about arms or legs in Mario Kart anymore. Which is part of what inspired me to make this silly list in the first place. This is a bump, apparently. I didn't know they were named that. I guess they go next to the Tox box for costume inspiration if Thwomp is in. This is... I don't know what this creature is called. What is this creature? I recognize them, I just don't remember what they're called. Spindrift. Or Flowerhead. They're cute. I don't know how much I care about them. I guess they go into... Sure, I guess. Would I say anything in D tier is still preferable compared to Pink Gold Peach? I kind of actually like Pink Gold Peach. I couldn't tell you why. I feel like Pink Gold Peach being a costume is likely. I would prefer Pink Gold Peach to D tier, personally. It's probably not a common opinion. But I don't hate Pink Gold Peach or Metal Mario that much myself. Especially since, like, Metal Mario at least got some different animations later on, where they were more like robotic. And that was neat, I think. Heave ho. I think this is perfect for vehicle inspiration tier. There could easily be a vehicle that like looked like this, or very similar. Klepto. I think Klepto would be pretty funny. I think Klepto gets to go like all the way up here somewhere. B or A? Probably like A. Klepto is in a similar position to Ukiki in that you'd want them to exist so that you could hit them with shells and bombs. But like not as much as Ukiki, I think. I think that'd be fun. Why not? Grindel. Not Grindel. Wait, yes, Grindel. Do I hate Cloudy? You mean like this enemy here? Is that the one? They're there because there's like already a cloud vehicle in a lot of Mario Karts and I don't really care about them. Grendel similar to a lot of the other cubes, goes into like, if Thwomp is playable, then costume inspiration. That's like the cube tier. I guess Spindle can also go there for the same reason. Stu, we're in Mario Sunshine now. Moving right along. Let me scroll down to Mario Sunshine. This is Strollin' Stu, I guess. I feel like Stu would be a good enemy archetype to include. That would be kind of fun to see. I mean, like Piantas and stuff are being referenced. Mario Sunshine outfit exists. It would be possible for Stu. And therefore, like, every other variant of Stu has to go into the costume inspiration tier. Basically. Somewhere. Probably close to all the Buzzy Beetles and so on. This is... What is this creature called? Don't remember. Blue Electro Koopa. Which would I prefer, Waluigi getting his own game or Mario Kart having custom skin mods like a Steam Workshop? I don't feel like there would be anything to support that as a possibility with how like the Switch 2 is likely to be set up. I don't think Nintendo's ever going to do anything like that. Like, there'd be nowhere to get files onto it in a convenient way, most likely. But, like, as far as what I'd prefer, I do think Waluigi could get an interesting game. I've always personally thought that Waluigi could have some sort of, like, goofy Mario version of a Metal Gear Solid type of gameplay for a Waluigi game. But yeah, Blue Electro Koopa seems like a costume inspiration for Koopas. For sure. Put them up here somewhere. And then I guess Red Electro Koopa also. I'm assuming that's what that means. Or what that is. Yep. This is... Gooble. I don't really care about Gooble. They'd be better than a lot of the things in D tier, but I don't really care about them. So maybe low C. Nah. I don't really care. This list does not contain Paper Mario. This is supposed to be a tier list for, quote, mainline enemies, unquote. And what that means is, like, all the Mario Bros. And 3D Marios and so on. It doesn't have, like, Yoshi games or Donkey Kong games or anything of that sort. So, we've got the rest of Sunshine, we've got, like, 3D Land, 3D World, Odyssey, Mario Maker 1 and 2. Stuff like that. Odyssey, if I didn't say that already. Various things that are just variants on Pokies. There's a lot of, like, inspiration for a costume stuff again. That tier is a lot larger than I realized. It was going to be. This is... What is this? What is this creature referred to as? Flamber. It's just a little yellow spider. Honestly, I feel like you could maybe base a vehicle off of this. It's probably because I'm just looking at this similar creature next to it. But like, I don't know, sure, why not? This is something. I don't know what this is. I'm not super familiar with Sunshine. Spider does look a little bit like a banana peel, yeah. Uh... Oh, this is a bloop ad. It's a weird form of blooper. Now, if blooper were to be playable, I guess this would be another in the costume tier, which is ridiculously large at this point. Sure, why not? This thing. I vaguely remember this. I hate it. No. This weird chicken. Yeah, horrible pig balloon that blocks flood. Blooper was a pretty horrible item. Blooper is a weird item in Mario Kart, like in general. I don't remember if it was worse in Mario Kart Wii, like you're asking about. But in general, it's like, if you have a mini-map, or if you know the course well enough, it affects you a lot less. But it can be annoying. It's definitely a weird one. I don't generally hate it that much. Horrible bird that puts goop everywhere is what this is apparently. Plurp is what it's called. Apparently. Sounds like something I hate. So probably no. Somewhere around there, I guess. It's got an alright design, except for the part where it spews goop everywhere. A tornado. Or cyclo. I think in game it's even difficult to tell that this thing is an enemy and not just like a weird wind gust, but it does have eyes. I feel like I also don't care about this. This weird egg Koopa that Yoshi has to kill. I think it like vomits everywhere. I don't remember what this is called either. Oh, they don't vomit? Like, to be fair to me, there's a lot of things in Mario Sunshine that do vomit. Do I ever feel angry about the blue shell? I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have in the past. This thing's like fine, I guess. You could probably make a costume based on this for something. Like a Koopa. Weird egg costume. Chain Chomplet. Something I forgot about. I have Chain Chomp on high on the list. This is a good puppy. I feel like this is like different enough from Chain Chomp. So sure, why not? They get to go next to Chain Chomp as a separate entity. This thing. There's a lot of enemies where I'm just like not enthused. I'm realizing. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna put it like here. It's a beta enemy that's not in the game. That's what this thing feels like. This is like a weird bomb with lips. I don't care. Not Raphael the Raven or the Ravens, but it's similar. I feel like the Ravens are not on this list because this does not include Yoshi's Island or Paper Mario. But I feel like they deserve to drive. So like... Oh, is this... This might be 3D Land or New Super at this point. Because we have Punch Ghost next. This is not a Sunshine vendor. I don't recognize this bird. Let me... I feel like this is a new Super. But I forget. Yeah, it's gotta be, because like, 3D Land starts around here with like the polygon type ones, I think. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, this is a new super enemy apparently. Yeah, this one is too. So what is this bird? There it is. Crober. Also described as ravens. I'm gonna put this pretty high because it's like I'm substituting them for like the better ravens in other Mario games. Maybe not that high. Maybe around this tier somewhere. Somewhere in here. Bruiser. Bruiser's a fun enemy, I think. I think they deserve to go up pretty high in the list. I think they can go around here. Oop. Could be a costume. Oh yeah, there is a Peepa, right. Oh, Peepa's one I forgot to put in the confirmed tier. I missed that one. So yeah, this can be a Peepa costume inspiration. Let me see if I can find Peepa in the list. I knew I would have forgotten one. Peepa, 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 Peepa. I'll find them eventually. Worm Wiggler. I guess that's a costume. Well, I feel like this one isn't even enough to be a costume. It's like a weird baby Wiggler or something. I feel like this goes in the I don't care enough section. Block Hopper. I feel like I also don't care about this. Like, it's kind of goofy. I guess we do have the other block thing. This could probably also be a costume. They could combine these two. I think similar to the other spiders, whatever this is like a vehicle type shape. This is some sort of spiky fish that's not the ones that I know about. I don't really care. I think my enthusiasm for a lot of these is not very high. You can go around here somewhere. This is just a green Cheep Cheep. That's mad. Like, this is another one of the not enough to even be a costume type ones. Whatever this is like a penguin costume source for sure. Some cool skiing penguin type of creature. Pumpkin Goomba, presumably. So also a costume. This is just a Boo that's like upset. This isn't anything. I don't know what this is. So you go in, you go around this part where I don't care. I think we're in Galaxy now. Yeah, we are. These are gonna be enemies I recognize more again. Forget what this thing is called. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, this is an Octumba. Originally referred to as Electro Goombas. They're considered to be like a space Goomba. I forgot about that detail. I feel like they're different enough that they could be their own character, but they could also work as a Goomba costume. I feel like they have a significantly different energy from a Goomba. And they're kind of like iconic to me, so I think they get to go up here somewhere. They're like the stews of Galaxy. Basically. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna say this would probably be a costume for the Octoomba. But like a low priority one. Down here somewhere. And similar with this thing, which is a variant of the Octoomba. This is a sphere that has eyes. I don't care. I don't remember this enemy from Galaxy like at all. Beta enemy? It's weird that there's a lot of beta enemies, if that's true. The little top man. I like the top men. They could work as a lot of things. They could work as a vehicle. They could also probably work well enough as a character. I feel like I would love to see them again. But maybe not as much as some of the... I feel like they get to go up here. And then like these other top men variants would be in here somewhere. I'm just sort of... I feel like my placement in the costume tier is getting more and more arbitrary as I continue. But that's fine. This is nothing. This is like an object that's not even funny. Which means like it's slightly better than some of these. It's close to the rock. Some sort of like space military Goomba. That's an easy costume inspiration. Tier 1. Once again. Another pumpkin Goomba. I guess you go next to the pumpkin Goomba. Podobo, but it's blue. That goes next to the I don't care. Not even enough for a costume ones. Ice Podobo is just Podobo that's blue. I remember these, sort of. They also aren't really anything. They're like Freezy tier. Similarly, we have another tornado that's alive. It's like a bit better than the previous tornado. This is like the elemental objects section. Funny Spring. This is like... This is like close enough to the top men that it could be some sort of base for it, maybe. But also it is just a recolor. I don't know. Eyeball wall turret thing. I don't really think that'll work. Similar to a bunch of the other things in here. And the bugs. I do like these bugs. I feel like this one could be a vehicle sort of shape, and this one might be playable. Like this one can go up here somewhere. It is a charismatic set of creatures. There's also like a boss one that's like a larger version of the one I put in the vehicle tier, and if you had the playable one and the boss one, you could recreate the boss one having a smaller one on top of it. I guess these are Monty Mold bases. These two. Like, if you have to, I guess. Not as good as Mega Mold. So they're like here somewhere. I think there's a boss tier version that is like above these two. There is a boss mole of some kind. Slightly different piranha plant. Floating robot that shoots you that's not that interesting. Funny coin bag. This is a coin coffer variant type situation. I think this tier is more like just bundling things together based on what character they could be for. More than anything. I don't want this to... I don't want to look at this thing. I don't want to behold it. A mine. That's nothing. It's not a good eel compared to the classic eel. Galaxy spiders. I remember these kind of. They are... I don't really care about them. They're better than some of the things in here. Weird jellyfish. I don't remember these at all. Yeah, that feels likely. However, I will say that, like, this one, I feel like if Blooper were included, this could be like an interesting sort of weird blooper. As unlikely as that may be. So I'll put them in here somewhere. Just like a weird like amoeba jellyfish type of blooper. Hello, welcome. Spring thing? Yeah, I don't remember so many of these things. There's a lot of things in Galaxy that only pop up like once. I think this is a I don't care very much one. Somewhere in there. This is the first thing we've seen that's a different kind of crab. I guess you could base a sidestepper on this. But it wouldn't be that exciting. Right, this weird chicken thing. This feels like an enemy from a different series that's not a Mario enemy. And I forgot about it until now. But I do sort of remember that it existed. And I'm putting a lot of things into I don't care too. This is the first thing, it's a weird bat, or like a different kind of bat. I don't think it's a boss fight. There are no bosses on this list, ostensibly. This goes next to the, I guess you could do this as a variant of something. Where did I put that? The crab. Yeah, this is like This is like a sure I guess costume basis. The bamboo, I feel like, is somewhere around here. An enemy from the scrapped GameCube Kirby platformer. That sounds probable. Some sort of mecha shark that I don't remember. Maybe like a vehicle. I feel like I'm just going through this faster and faster as I go through too. This has got to be like a later new super thing. Actually, yeah, this could be like a bonefish. Fishbone. Yeah, this is a new super steppy monster. Remember at the beginning when I was also like checking to make sure I got all the enemy names correctly? This is like a Metroid enemy that was in one room that they also put into New Super Mario Bros. For some reason. This is just an orange Cheep Cheep. This is the same as the green Cheep Cheep. That Metroid enemy is named Shaktul. This is just a Spike. We've already got Spike. The only different thing is the objects. By virtue of the other Hammer Bro variants being around, you get to go next to them when I find them again. Yep. Ice Bro. Bonsai Bill, but like even more so. I guess you get to go there. Mega Para Troopa Beetle, whatever. I guess you get to go next to that one. There's a lot of these that are like similar too. Different Pitsui plant. This goes into not necessary next to the Pitsui plant. We've already got a Rocky Wrench. This is like identical. I guess this one is technically more accurate than this one. So I should probably just put this one in not necessary. And just have this one for the confirmed one. Cloud. No, don't really care. Elemental tier. Yeah, I don't know why Rocky Wrench is in here twice. I guess Urchin is also in here twice. This one's like slightly more charismatic. So I'll put this one down here. Weird anglerfish. Sure, I guess. This is like, okay. I don't hate them. I don't remember them either. Skeleton mouse thing. Dry mouse. I'm gonna preemptively, similar to the ants, put this in the costume tier. These are haunted objects again. Or two people facing each other. I'm gonna say no. Nah. This is a sidestepper costume. So put you next to the crab. Wait, this is also the jellyfish, isn't it? This is like the same guy as this one. It's just the updated version. So I'll put original down here somewhere. Genuinely, you would love Candlestick, but possessed by a ghost as a driver. It'd be funny, maybe, but I think there's some other inanimate objects that I would personally prefer. Like, I put the chair here. I put the piano in S. That's my opinion. A clam. Sure. Arbitrarily, I feel okay about the clam. This is a penguin costume base. I think the costumes aren't particularly ordered anymore. This is a Goomba hiding in a spiky thing? What is this? Hoomst. I guess that's a Goomba costume. I don't know what that is. Ah, chestnut shell sort of situation. Octoomba costume base, assuming Octoomba or Goomba costume. This is a thing that's in like 1 Galaxy 2 level, I think. I don't really think that works. Nah. Yeah, the slimy spring guy. I feel like you're an elemental tier. You're slime element. These are just blargs again. We have blarg already. I think they're called like magmarg and stuff like that. So you can go in like costume somewhere under the assumption that blarg would be playable because there's already a blarg. Slimy Spring Galaxy is like a really, yeah, that's a good description of it. A weird, quiet, low-key water level on a semi-hidden route that lets you skip all the way to the end of the final world. I forgot it was that far into the game, but I do always think about the music. Because it's like a very relaxing, minimal sort of music. Piranha costume. Piranha plant, rather. This is a platform. Maybe a vehicle. This is nothing. It's like lesser elemental tier. This is like a ghost Octoomba, I guess. So I guess you go with the Octoomba in the costume. This is like an onion bulb or garlic bulb. I don't know what this is. Like, I don't care. I guess this is a Chain Chomp costume base, if they exist. I don't remember ever seeing this party ghost in my life. What is this? A sand thing? It looks like a light bulb with a party hat. It's also a ghost. Those are from the Boulder Mario Bowling Challenge. Oh, this is a bowling pin? I feel like you get sure, I guess, for some reason. Little spiky, spiny shell type of situation. For some reason, I feel like you go up here. This is becoming more and more arbitrary. This creature from those Mario Galaxy levels where you have to ground pound from the other side of the gravity to hurt them. I think they're cute. So why not? Weird balloon that I don't like. I feel like this is nothing. This is just like a spiky thing. I don't really care. Ah. This thing that smooches Mario, and he doesn't like it. It makes him very upset, and it makes his life force go away. I think I've seen at least some people want this to be a driver. It's a weird creature. I don't know about this one. I don't recall this. Yeah, it's related to the horrible Sunshine Pig, but it's less horrible. This is like... This one is okay. That's fine. I should be more kind to some of these. The D tier is too large. This is a similar thing to, you. This is a panel, but that's also a blomp or whatever. That guy. But I think this is worse, and I don't like looking at it. Something about it is a little off-putting. This is just a womp, but like small and funny. Do you get to go up here because we have Chain Chomp Jr., so we also get Womp Jr.? No, not this high, I don't think. Actually, maybe... Baby Chain Chomp and Baby Womp can go, like, a little bit lower. I like the Chain Chomp more. Do I? I don't know. They're fine. This is nothing. This is a bullet that's got a drill on it. I don't really care about it. I vaguely remember this enemy, and I don't really like looking at them. I don't remember this funny little guy. This funny little frog face. What is this? Frolf? This is like an N64 creature from a platformer that isn't a Mario game. But I like them. I like the shape of them. They're not real. I agree. But I like them enough. This is a bird that turns upside down and plunges at you. They're okay, I guess. I don't care that much. They're better than some of the things I have in this tier. This is a cube made of goo. But I don't hate it. A goob, if you will. Yeah. I don't hate it. This is a dry bones using a fisheye lens filter on their phone camera. So I don't know why this is on the list. Oh, right, the Matter Eater things. I do sort of remember that. They go up there somewhere. Shadow Mario. Some version of it. I mean, that's just a costume whether we like it or not, isn't it? We already have Parabitibud, so this is in a similar situation to, like the Paragoomba. Parabitibud is already confirmed down here. Tanuki Goomba, I guess, also is in that situation. A block that's mad. I don't really care. Oh, this is like a Tanuki block that's mad. It's Pile Driver Goomba again, basically. But I think this goes into I don't really care. Somewhere. Remember the snake block? I'm gonna say this could be a weird vehicle. Potentially. I also do not particularly remember it, but like maybe. This is the friendly little guy. This is like a Womp or Thwomp type of situation. I don't know if they're different enough, but I think they kind of are, so I'll put them up here actually. Do I consider Reznor an enemy? Reznor is considered a boss for the purpose of this list, because this does not include bosses and mini-bosses. Reznor is one of those. I would love to see Reznor though, but for the purpose of this particular tier list, Reznor is not present. This other weird Womp situation. It's a Goomba wearing a spike hat. Maybe. I don't really care too much for that one. This is kind of like a Rex, but not. Rectangle under the Kittyville? Oh, this? Oh, we'll get there. I mean, I can tell you right now it's called a Kathwack, and it's just a spiky rectangle. And it's kind of funny, I think. Weird Rex orb. This can go in, like, sure, I guess. This also feels like an N64 enemy next to this creature. It's mostly just a spiky rectangle. Okay, it's a square. And the spiky rectangle guy swinging around inside it is King Kathwack, the boss version. I don't know what this is. This is kind of like a steppy guy, similar to the previous steppy guy, but like a small version that you can't jump on. This just feels like not a very interesting enemy design to me. So like around here somewhere. This is a piranha plant that's a different color. At this point, I think we don't need to put more piranha plants into the costume tier. Because like this one's at least a little more interesting. This is just Monty Mole again. So you go in this is a repeat tier. If I really wanted to, I guess I could like prune things out that were repeats. This is just like a sand blarg. So I guess you can go next to the maybe costume. This is like I don't know exactly what this is, but this is like an eel that I don't... This is an eel that's not fun to look at. Or not funny. So this goes... Where's the other... There's the other eel. The other worse eel. This is a Goomba costume. This is like the Skull Goomba. I remember that. Now this is a dry piranha plant. That's like a good piranha plant costume. So you can go up here somewhere. The particularly big boo. I don't remember the exact name. I guess this is like fine, I guess, as a costume, but I don't really care too much. Baby urchin. I don't care. I think this is an I don't care situation. Some Goomba variant I don't remember the exact name of, but different enough to work as a costume. Not as good as some of the Goombas. Sort of arbitrary placement. Mecha Cheep Cheep of some sort? That's probably in the costume tier as well. They're like more interesting than some of these. Could be a vehicle. The funny squirrel from New Super Mario Bros. U. The squirrel is pretty good, I think. I like to look at the squirrel. I appreciate the flying squirrel. Eel variant number 5000. Presumably. Better than the other ones. Looks like a Yoshi's Story enemy that got lost. Frankly. It can't be from Yoshi's Story because Yoshi's Story is not on the list. Grohl. There is a high chance that Grohl is in the game as a tire instead of as a spiky wheel. Because we have seen that as a course obstacle and we don't know exactly how things work yet. But we've seen like a tire Grohl. But also, it's weird how much charisma the Mario enemies that are various like stone shapes have. I'd say sure. This walrus. This walrus is alright. I forgot about them. I'd say they're alright, sure. The piranha plant that is like a big extendo Windows pipe screensaver that you have to bop until it retracts a lot. That's basically the same as this in terms of costume potential. So that's basically a repeat. It goes with the other piranha plant repeats. Cat Goomba. Good costume. Other shoe Goomba. Still a vehicle, especially because the vehicle's like transform now. So this shoe could like grow a skate on ice. Para Dry Bones, you go with like Paragoomba. Cat Bullet Bill. If Bullet Bill were in, I guess you'd have to go up here somewhere. And Cat Bonsai Bill. I guess since there's already like a Bullet Bill vehicle and we've established that Bonsai Bill could be a costume or something. Anyway. Remember how I said earlier that there was a much better ant approaching? I think I like this ant render better than this one. I don't remember if this is the big ant or if this is the big ant. I don't remember which one is the normal sized ant. I think this is the normal ant and this is a spiky ant and this is a big ant. Or something like that. But I like this ant a lot. This is a good ant. And then these would be like costume for the ant, I guess. I think I like this render better, so I'll use that one instead. It's very similar, and then this one would then become unnecessary because it's the same thing. I don't know why I put this one so high. Arbitrary movement. The Lockstepper. I remember the name of this from earlier. This thing's alright. I don't hate it. They're kind of cute. You could probably make a vehicle out of this too. Somehow. Something I don't remember. It's fine. Also kind of looks like the super horn. You're right, it does. This thing's like okay, I guess. This is like a tadpole, I guess, I think. It's like weirdly cut off. Don't really care. Now, I mentioned also that there'd be a good mouse later. This is a very good mouse. And thus, this version of the mouse also goes in costume. This thing, I don't like to look at it particularly. So you go in here somewhere. This guy's cute. I feel like this would be... I feel like a lot of these blocky, stony enemies are like different enough that I can put them separately. This is just a rock with arms though. I don't really care as much about this one. The elemental tier again. This is a cloud that's a block. Similar case for this. A thwack. Surely we have a limit for when objects are funny. This is a square with spikes on it. Like, I feel like this almost reaches some level of absurdity where I might put it in C. Like, it's a level of absurdity where it's kind of funny. I don't think it would work, but it's like kind of funny. Weirdly enough. This is a button. I think. What are you saying to me? Or are you showing me a button? This is like a... This thing had a good name. I don't remember what it was. Let me check. I was looking through some of these earlier. I posted it somewhere to someone. It's a grumblump. Grumblump. It's an enemy. It tries to attack you. I think it goes in the cube tier of... Technically, you could make a costume out of this. This thing feels like kind of vehicle shaped to me. Maybe. This is a blarg again. This is an obvious Pokey costume. The snow Pokey. That one's easy. This is... I don't know what this is. This is basically like the floating Wario face, but in 3D and without the mustache. It's not an angry sun. It's just an orb. I don't hate it, but it's also not really anything. Weird fish. It's fine, I think. It's like alright. I don't hate it. I originally started like ordering these within the tiers, but I think they're less ordered than intended. Funny hammerhead shark spike bar. I think they're in a similar situation where they're alright, but I don't really think they work. I guess they could be a costume inspiration for Dolphin if you're really stretching it. Which I guess we are, so like, you know, whatever. Put them next to the other sharks. Fuzzy Wiggler. Easy Wiggler costume. Purple Podobo. This is like a not even a costume tier type of thing. This weird owl or something that I don't recognize. I think this one's like fine also. It does look like a Kirby enemy. This ghost who is very sick. I don't love it. Priest home. Arguably next to the cubes. But also, some sort of piranha bud. I don't love it. I don't know what this is. At this point, we're definitely in Galaxy. I mean, not Galaxy, Odyssey. This is a Toad costume, actually. I think. Like, this is one of the little creatures that attack you in a very specific area of the desert. I think. There's like mummy creatures that attack you if you go back to where you fought a boss fight in the Desert Kingdom, but this is like a Toad costume type of situation. Funny Octopus. Not the boss, but like a flunky of the boss version. I don't hate it. It'd be weird, maybe, but like, sure. I don't recall them either. I do recall the boss fight. The funny stretchy plant. I feel like you could make a piranha plant that just has a pot on the head as well, or something. Maybe. Something of that sort. Horrible grub from New York. And horrible bug from New York. I don't like them. They're like mildly better than the eels, maybe. These are at the Metro Kingdom when it's raining before you save it. They're like in the rainy, stormy, scary part. This is like a Womp costume, easy, if Womp was in. The T-Rex. This is funny enough that it goes up here somewhere. Like the concept of just playing as a realistic T-Rex in Mario Kart. I don't know if this is S tier funny. It might be S tier funny. I think this is S tier funny. This little spiky guy. Oh, the T-Rex having the Mario hat and like eyes and mustache as a costume would be funny. This enemy never really felt particularly inspired or interesting. They're like Goomba adjacent, but not really. This enemy I don't remember at all. But they're also not very much. The shy Moai head with the sunglasses is a very good enemy. Excuse me. They're not even really an enemy. They're a very good creature. I'm gonna say they get to go up here even though they're like very similar to these two. And like if one of these is in, this could be a costume. But also, I feel like they get to exist as a separate entity. What we're learning is that I'm biased towards things made of stone today. This enemy, I don't think they would work as a driver, but they are very fun to play as in Mario Odyssey, and I think you could maybe make a vehicle inspired by them. Because they're basically like a vehicle in Mario Odyssey. Because you like blast around with a water jet. This is like a Mario Odyssey enemy that's not very common. And it is kind of neat, like mechanically, but I don't think it really works in Mario Kart at all. So I'll put them like here. Oh wait, no, this is the thing I was thinking of when I saw the mummy toad. But maybe this could be like a Dry Bones costume or something. I feel like either of these could be inspiration for a costume. This is just a Cheep again. What are you doing? Why are you like this? The tomatoes that explode into lava. There's not a lot to go on there, really. They're fine as enemies. They don't really work. This is missing a sunshine enemy? The Cheep that drowns you. Huh. Well, I'm sure that's also just a Cheep. I don't really remember. Pokio! Or wait, yes, Pokio. Trying to remember if it's Pokio or Bikio or Birdio because of a Let's Play I saw. Is Pokio correct? Yes. S tier. Pokio is wonderful. I love to behold them. That guy who's really mean to Cappy, and you have to let him be really mean to Cappy to progress in the Lost Kingdom. Too rude to be in Mario Kart. I don't really care. Tropical Wiggler. Easy costume. This is just a piranha plant again. I've run out of patience for the differently colored piranha plants. I'm supposed to remember what they do. The tank. Or Sherm. Now, Sherm is another situation where obvious vehicle, but it would be very funny if they drove a car. I think, like, more realistically, vehicle makes sense. That, like, they're already a vehicle. So... Seaweed that's mad at you. I don't really care. That's like a fire bar that's made of rock. And I know I've just said I was biased towards things made of rock, but that's like nothing. This is a nothing enemy. Not a poison mushroom, but a rotten mushroom from Mario Maker 2. You know what? Rotten Toad. Why not? Bud Goomba or something like that. Goombud. I guess you can go with the other Goombas in the costume tier somewhere. Little Tornado from Mario Maker 2. That's also not really much. By the way, this whole time I've had my mic on, like, monitor, so I hear myself. And also the mic is going in the desktop audio feed instead of its own thing. And sometimes I feel like I hear the voice like fading out weirdly, and I'm not sure if that's actually happening or not. No one has mentioned it. But I tend to be pickier about audio than people who watch my stuff. Shadow Cat from Bowser's Fury. I'm going to include the regular not Shadow Kittens in this and say easy S tier because cats are good. Like, this is all the kittens from Bowser's Fury. I was just saying it sounds like my microphone like fades out weirdly sometimes because I can monitor my own voice output. Weird Long Goomba. Yes, I am listening to myself talk going through 8,000 Piranha Plant recolors, that's correct. It's, I thought I would try it out. I'm not sure about it as a concept. Weird Long Mushroom. Honestly, I don't really like looking at it. Like, this is just a different colored Koopa, but they are skating and having a great time. So I think, like, roller skating Koopa is a valid costume direction. Did you miss Rotodisc? Yeah, Rotodisc is in D tier, I think. Yeah. The no / I don't care / not necessary / not even enough for a costume / repeat tier. Rotodisc would be really funny, but I cannot parse a single possible way that Rotodisc could work, so they went into this tier. Even though that's not really any of the descriptions of the tier. It would be really funny though. Singing Piranha Plant. I'm going to be generous with this one and say that like the concept of a music-based Piranha Plant could be spun into something more interesting. So they get to not be in the this is the 50th Piranha Plant I've seen today tier. Also, Melon Piranha Plant gets to go in here because that's actually like different. The funny bouncy hippo. I don't know how they would drive. I think you could make a funny hippo car. I wonder how inscrutable this list will be without the context of me explaining every decision. But I feel like this is a funny car shape. Workout Buffalo. I feel like this could also be a funny car shape, honestly. But also I could see them driving. This could be a cow skin, actually. I'll put them somewhere up here. This guy. I forgot their name. I remember they were kind of like a fun enemy, but they're not really that interesting to look at. So like up here somewhere. I don't think they're that interesting for a vehicle design either. Anglefish. I scrolled down far enough that I see the names now. This feels like a vehicle inspiration shape too, for sure. Some sort of rock urchin. I don't really care, I don't think. This is basically just Torpedo Ted again. Oh wait, they're Missile Meg, that's right. Missile Meg. They can go with all the other Bullet Bills. Under the assumption that Bullet Bill being playable was possible. And I guess that goes for this, whatever this is too. What is this song? GBA Sunset Wilds. Okay. This is like Bullet adjacent, but not really. I don't think I care too much about this. This can go somewhere arbitrarily, like up here. The weird, like, bamboo stack. Clearly a Wiggler skin because it's a stack of something. As we know. That's how this works. Or not a Wiggler skin, a Pokey skin. Weird ghost skeleton dog cloud thing. I don't remember this. But I don't hate it. It's not really a dry blarg. It's like clearly, it's like dry pokey, or poochie rather. If anything. I think Poochie should be in the game. Poochie's not an enemy. Even if you might think otherwise. Some birds. Various. Poochie ain't hostile, that's correct. I don't really care about these birds that much, but they're fine. They can go with this other bird. In that they're fine. Poochie ain't a lot of stuff. The popcorn one. Oh yeah, the Excite Bike thing. I don't... The popcorn enemy's kind of funny, but like... I don't know why the popped and unpopped versions are both here. This snail. And a larger version of the snail. Vehicle? Vehicle. Why not? This other bird that I don't remember. Who's also, like, fine, I guess. Balloonfish. That's weird. I don't think I like balloon-based Mario enemies, is what I'm learning also. This armadillo, they're alright. Maybe they could be a costume for a Koopa or something. The unwindable mummy tower. Weird guy. They're also, like, fine, I guess. It would be a strange choice. But I don't hate them. A slime. Just like a goo. A little goop. That is a Yoshi's Island level name, you're right. This is just a little slime. I feel like this somehow transcends I don't care to, like, why not if you must? Like, it'd be kind of funny to have such a basic design. This bird is better than those other birds that I said were okay. They can go up here. The funny maw creature, that's like up here somewhere, I think. They're basically like they're like Quagsire and Clodsire adjacent. I do like them. Even though they can eat you when you're a Goomba, which is not great for you when you're a Goomba. The battery Bob-omb. We had Bob-omb up here somewhere, I think. Did we? Where did I put Bob-omb? Oh yeah, B. So this can be like costume inspiration tier somewhere. This is just Spike but fire. Also, this like particular frame of Spike out of context is kind of funny. I guess you can go in the costume tier in the low end because there's no other Spike. Don't remember this at all. It's like fine, I guess. It's Blarg adjacent. That's just lava that they put eyes on after the fact. That's nothing. I mean, it's not like a lava bubble. This is like a worse lava bubble also. Flying Mecha Koopa. I'll put you next to the other Mecha Koopa as potential vehicle inspiration. The weird, like, floaty chomp orb thing. Something about them is vaguely unsettling to me. This thing. I don't really care. There's a lot of wonder enemies that I don't think I really care that much about. Weird specific thwomp adjacent creatures. I feel like they also are things I don't particularly care about. This fish. Also, well, they're like fine, I guess. It's like Stunfisk, but not as good. This also feels like a Yoshi's Island enemy that escaped. And also, it's not very much. This is just like a sumo bro that pushes you, I guess. I feel like this is either redundant or nothing. I don't really recall this man. Longshoreman bro. What are they called? I have no idea. Well, anyway, I don't think they're that interesting to me personally. I don't remember what this is, and I can't really identify it from looking at it. It's like a weird rope or something. Whatever. I don't recall this creature. I feel like this could maybe be like a costume inspiration source. This creature, I forgot, was called Out My Way. So that's pretty good. I feel like this is like a ninja adjacent type of thing. I think they're alright. Or maybe like up here. Forgot about this happy little sea slug spike pillar. I can't hate them. This is just like a weird snake that looks like a... This looks like it could be in something else. Honestly, I guess they have to go next to the other snakes that are like, okay, fine. Now this creature... The Skedaddler. I love them. They go up here somewhere. I love the Skedaddler. They're like the flying squirrel, but like better. Kinda. This. Okay. Just placing things more arbitrarily. Skedaddler wins every race and never realizes they're in a competition? That sounds probable. We've already got plenty of cloud-related things. That's just a cloud that's mad. You know, maybe I'll put that in vehicle because we don't have a Cloud That's Mad vehicle, but it's like a low priority. Oh yeah, Super Koopas are missing. At this point, I don't think I really want to bother adding in missing enemies that much. This is a boulder with eyes. It's like a little better than some of the other boulders with eyes. It's fine. And then this is nothing. This is basically nothing. And then this is like Rift Mario, who is identical to Shadow Mario but missing legs. I guess you can go there. And I guess that's everything. I kind of like really rushed through it after a bit. Now, my main question is, do I want to move I don't care tier below the inspiration for costume and vehicle tier? Probably. And I can change the colors around. Well, no, I'll leave the colors, because these feel like an intermediate thing. So, here's my weird tier list that I made. I think that was kind of fun to do, but also there's a lot of Mario enemies I don't care about that much or don't remember, is what I've learned. So, S tier, Ninja, Womp, Thwomp, Pokio, Cat, Bully, Magikoopa, Dino Rhino, Tweeter, Skedaddler, Fuzzy, Chomp, Mad Piano, Mr. I, Blooper, Phanto, Angry Sun, T-Rex, and Ukiki, apparently. And A tier, Podobo, Squeaker, whatever, that one ant, Rex, Octumba, Stu, Klepto, Spinny, Top Man Guy, the Moai heads from Mario Land, Blarg, Fighterfly, Squirrel. Fighterfly can go on the low end today. But yeah, you get the idea. Basically, like, this group here, S, A, and B, are the ones I would care about most, evidently. C would be like, huh, weird, alright. And then the costume designs would be neat. Costume design tier is the largest tier, I guess. Okay, no, actually, I think D tier is larger. But yeah, that's a lot of Mario enemies. We can also remove this tier, because nothing is being contemplated anymore for the rest of time. Alright. Hooray! I had no idea how long that would take, but I didn't think it would take more than one stream. How does everyone feel about all this? Those are the important ones. It's wild. Yeah, I guess it is kind of wild of me to do this in the first place. Probably. But yeah. I didn't really have any other plans. This was just like a stream idea that I had, and then I did it, and now it's here. And it was okay. It was probably like an okay stream that was interesting a little bit of the time. Hooray! I haven't streamed in like 3 weeks, so this feels like a weird stream in general. Gone to the well both too many times and not enough times. Oh yeah, and there's my Mr. I art again, in case you missed it. Thank you for petting Calico. I will have to fix the thing that pops up that says a redeem happened. Hold on. There's got to be a better song to switch to for the ending of this. There we go. So, This has been ranking every Mario enemy on this list by how much I want to see them playable in Mario Kart World. I guess. A silly idea. And I don't really have anything else to add, other than thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it.
Less than 3 transgender pride less than 3?
Outlook, good.
Yes, that's true. I guess you can't see Yasna if you do an 8-ball question on the screen. Oops. I guess I could move Calico up in the order. I forget why I didn't do that. Oh wait, it's because she's with the crew, and that would mean that some of them poke out above windows. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed it, you can do things like follow and subscribe and all that, I guess, if you want. Hopefully I'll be able to stream more often. Hopefully my streams will be good. I feel like this one was weird. This had a weird sort of energy to it at times. Not necessarily bad, but also I just haven't streamed in a long time. And I also don't remember how to end a stream. So, yep. I'm glad that you're glad. I'm glad that people thought it was good. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again next stream, whenever and whatever that might be. And until then, bye, or whatever I usually say. I forget. It's been too long. Good night.